I'm rocking the Deadpool socks. You know what that means. It's time for another episode of LOB Cast Wrestling, the fortnightly wrestling show where we just press record, talk about wrestling, don't edit nothing, just talk absolute nonsense. With me, the voice of reason, Dave Stevens, and my carbon-based tag team partner, the man of the hour, the Tower of Power.
I'm trying to stifle the laughs. I said, the second you said the Deadpool socks, I just started silently laughing. I could not stop.
It's tradition.
I wonder if this microphone is picking up the fact that my parents are clearly playing football downstairs.
Well, they're not playing football. What, your mum and dad sitting there playing FIFA?
Oh, yeah.
I think they're watching the Arsenal game.
Yeah, they're watching the Arsenal game. Arsenal-Real Madrid.
Someone's got to watch Arsenal.
Well, hopefully you'll have seen the game by the time you listen to this, because otherwise it might end up that you get spoiled.
Well, before we rant about wrestling, I'm going to hand you some beer. Mm-hmm. Today we are drinking Desperados Original again. Mm-hmm. So
I believe this was the first. Was this the first?
Yeah, I don't know.
Oh! Don't get beer over the microphone, Dave. It was 80 quid.
The beer weren't.
Don't get your microphone all over my beer.
Don't get your mic on my beer. Should we talk about wrestling?
Oh, Christ, that's good.
This is going to be our AEW Dynasty show, because we are 2 days removed from Dynasty.
And apparently we won't be talking about anything else, so I think some of Dave's takes are going to be spicy.
Well, we might talk about something else, but, you know, that it was a 4.5 hour show.
There is one thing I would like to talk about WWE and WrestleMania before WrestleMania actually happens. A little bit of the build. You're looking at me expectantly, so we're going to start talking about it?
Well, do you want to talk about that, or do you want to talk about AEW?
Well, let's get this out of the way very quickly first, just to show you there's no biases on these in my podcasts. I was watching the Road to the latest stuff they've got going on. Apparently, there's been a couple of disaster segments on SmackDown.
Are we talking about the Charlotte Flair stuff?
I'm not going to personally be talking about the Charlotte Flair stuff, because a lot of people have already talked about that and talked about what an absolute car crash that was. But I'm sorry, guys, and I'm sorry to have to say this, but I think the absolute worst WrestleMania build going on so far is the one that everybody seems to like, which is CM Punk, Roman Reigns, and Seth Rollins. Oh my God, I saw them arguing over who got to take Paul Heyman to prom. It is one of the most undignified displays I have ever seen. And I tell you why this is so bad for me. In about 2016, 2018, 2019, Paul Heyman was an absolute force of nature. He is one of the highlights of any episode of WWE television that he happens to be on. The force with which he spoke about some of his clients was just some of the most captivating television. The guy was the mouth of Sauron. He was standing on his clients' opponents' houses, wailing like a banshee, foretelling their impending dooms. It was epic. It was awesome. But in the last couple of years, since he has gotten involved with Roman Reigns, he has turned into a caricature, a parody of a Disney villain. He is just this mumbling, sycophantic, toadying, spineless cretin. And this is the person that CM Punk and Roman Reigns are fighting over. Paul Heyman has not had a positive effect on Roman Reigns' career since probably the time that he brought in CM Punk to help him at War Games. And if the quote-unquote favour, which everyone is banging on about, oh, for fuck's sake, just hit each other. And if that, if Paul Heyman effectively got CM Punk in to help Roman Reigns, knowing that he'd have to help CM Punk screw Roman Reigns at a later date, did he really help Roman Reigns? What kind of a deal was that? What kind of an agent is he? And it's just, the whole thing I find so confusing, so undignified, and I know that Roman Reigns and CM Punk are capable of so much better than this, because I have seen them do it. And I just say thank God for Seth Rollins, because at the moment, he's the only person in this entire feud who, to me, is making any sense, and he is doing God's work, making sure that the build for this match stays just like a bit above level.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, what was it, a couple of weeks ago when I said this should have been CM Punk versus Roman Reigns, didn't I?
Yeah, CM Punk.
And to be
Roman
honest,
Reigns.
the last few weeks, it's all been Seth Rollins has been the best thing about.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, to be honest, it's weird because you're saying that, but I'm actually looking forward to this match at WrestleMania. But I don't know if that's partly because I'm not really looking forward to anything else.
No, but that's the thing as well. You know the match is going to be good. I just wish. I tell you, actually, I am a little bit worried about it, and one of the reasons why I'm worried is because before their Hell in a Cell match, where they absolutely, put to bed any of the sins of their previous matches, Drew McIntyre and CM Punk, their match previous to that was all over a bracelet, and they made the bracelet the starring attraction in the match. And the bracelet in this a particular some context. So CM Punk wore a bracelet with his wife's name on it.
Is it like one of the Swifty things? Like that,
yeah, like the friendship bracelet that a fan gave him with his wife's name on it. And yeah, okay, that's cool. That's an okay MacGuffin. The problem is that the fans, the people watching, don't care about the MacGuffin. They care about what the characters are motivated to do over it. That's basic cinema 101. And I've said this before on the podcast. If WWE continue to talk about their product like cinema, I'm going to criticise it like cinema. Yeah. And that is a blatant example of taking the MacGuffin too seriously when you're supposed to be focusing on the characters.
Yeah, to be honest, I think the whole WrestleMania build for everything has been a bit shit.
Yeah,
I'm not hyped for WrestleMania.
No, not at all. I am and hopefully...
And I'm even more saddened now because Kevin Owens ain't going to be on WrestleMania either.
I'll be honest about that one. Now, I am very sad about Kevin Owens, and I definitely, I want him healthy in that. But I do not think he'd be able to recreate the magic with Randy Orton that he made in the last two pay-per-views with Sami Zayn and Cody Rhodes. I do think that this probably would have been, in his trilogy of early 2025 matches, probably the worst one that he did. But yeah, it's very sad to hear about Kevin Owens. Some people are speculating that the speech he gave on Friday may have been a retirement speech.
Maybe.
I am still holding out hope, however.
Well, there's always hope, because, Cope.
Yeah, it's Cope. Yeah.
Cope had the hope. We spent 9 years on the shelf, and he's wrestling.
Yeah, right. So, Kevin Owens is one of those Brian Danielson class wrestlers who can basically make an angle out of anything, and there's still a very slim possibility, but a possibility nonetheless, that this could be a work. And that he would be the perfect person to go to if you wanted to do a realistic retirement angle and, Mark Henry the hell out of it.
Well, anyway, fuck that noise. We've nearly done 10 minutes on WWE when we're meant to be doing an AEW show.
I know, I just really, after I saw that SmackDown segment, I was like, I need to talk about this.
Is this the pre-whinge before the proper whinge coming?
Oh, yeah, absolutely,
Because I think we're going to get into a proper whinge in a minute.
Yeah.
Well, let's get the match list up. It's a long match list, so hopefully your computer can handle all them terabytes.
Now, I think...
Should we start... Should we just start with the main event and then work our way through the rest of the card afterwards? Because I think most of the opinions we're going to have are on this.
And that means we can end with the Kenny Omega match, so we can at least end on a high.
We can end on some good stuff, yeah. So should we start with the main event of Jon Moxley defending his AEW World Championship against Swerve Strickland?
Yeah, I knew it was coming. I knew, not necessarily how it ended, but the fact that they only gave Swerve Strickland 2 weeks, effectively, to build a story with Jon Moxley, because after the disaster that was the Revolution main event, they needed to do a do-over between Jon Moxley and Cope.
Well, I mean, before I get into negatives, I'm going to list all the good things that were positive about this match. Number one, it was better than the Revolution match.
Yeah, I definitely think that, yeah. Mm-hmm.
That's it, I'm done.
That's it, you're done.
Yeah, I'm done. I'm done with my positives because this was wank. This was just more wank.
Swerve had some good spots.
You know what? I'm not even mad. I'm just disappointed.
Yeah.
I'm just because, you've got to be special to have a bad match with Swerve Strickland.
Absolutely.
Like, you know what? If they put this on first, it probably wouldn't. They need to start putting these Jon Moxley matches on first because they're so slow. They're just slow-paced matches, and you can't follow Kenny Omega with this shit.
No,
you can't follow Will Ospreay with this shit.
This needs to start and build the match, although, I tell you what, we've got at least one more Jon Moxley main event to come. 2 more, I reckon.
Oh, this was awful. I mean, this has got so bad that even my wife, who's a casual fan, is now calling Jon Moxley spots. She sits there, we're sitting there, like, no joking. It was like, oh yeah, he's going to forearm him now. Oh yeah, now he's going to bite him. You know, we're sitting there, it's like, oh, they've gone behind the table. Oh, someone's coming back bladed. You know what I mean? It's just the same old shit. Starts off with Jon Moxley talking to himself like a demented hobo. You know, then a few forearms that you can't hear. You know, maybe a few bites, and then someone falls out the ring. Then the furniture comes out. Then someone goes out of camera shot, and all they're bladed. You know, and it don't take much to get bladed in a Jon Moxley match. Let's be honest. I mean, I saw him once blade himself after taking a back bump.
Yeah,
you know, and it's just and then eventually it just gets to a point where someone comes out and interferes. Like Jon Moxley. I don't even think Jon Moxley done any wrestling, apart from an RKO to Marina Shafir at the end. Did he do any wrestling moves in this match?
That was probably his highlight of the entire match.
But honestly, apart from that and a bulldog choke, did he do any wrestling moves in this match? I can't think of one.
I'll be honest, I only watched this match a couple of hours ago, and I am struggling to remember any of Jon Moxley's specific contributions.
I mean, this match was that bad. There was a point in this match where Jon Moxley, I can't remember what he'd done, but he basically like kind of knocked out Swerve Strickland. So Swerve Strickland was supposed to be like unconscious, and then he put him onto a ladder and helped Swerve, who's supposedly unconscious, climb the ladder. So you had an unconscious man climbing a ladder, so Swerve can then do a double foot stomp spot onto Jon Moxley for the announce table. Like, why is there an unconscious man climbing the ladder? It's stupid. This match was it's shit. This is crap. This is just so bad. I mean, there was a couple of good things that came out of this main event. Because at the end, Swerve Strickland was screwed over by the returning Young Bucks, which is interesting. I'd like to see on Dynamite where this is going.
Makes Dynamite a must-watch,
because it's something that's going to change the status quo. Because the status quo has been boring AF, let's be honest.
Absolutely.
So that, and then there was a really good spot I enjoyed. Hangman came down. So Hangman Page came down, and for people not in know, Hangman Page swore, well, he promised that Swerve Strickland will not win the world title while he, you know. And so he came down, but recently Hangman's been turning a new leaf. So he's come back down. He's going to hit his finisher on Swerve, and he pauses, and then he looks at Jon Moxley instead. Then he looks back. And he's like, so he's indecisive. And then obviously the Death Riders come down and ruin everything. But that was quite good. That was story quite good. Beat for
here's the thing about that, is that to me makes the outcome of the match even worse. Because, you know when I told you that I saw this coming from a mile away? This, well, not the fact that the Young Bucks, but the fact that Moxley was retaining.
Yeah.
Right. So I said 2 weeks ago when we last did the podcast, that I think that they're not going to give it to Swerve Strickland because he's only had 2 weeks to build up the story.
Yeah.
The final 30 seconds of Dynamite this week, where Swerve Strickland and Hangman Adam Page had that little confrontation, gave me hope. Gave me hope that the Hangman spot was going to be him coming down, choosing who to Hangman buckshot lariat, whether it's going to be Moxley or whether it's going to be Swerve. And he does it to Moxley, and Swerve wins the AEW Championship thanks to Hangman's help. They convinced me that was going to be the case, but that makes the ending of this match, the real ending of this match, so much more disappointing.
Yeah, it's just... I mean, the thing is, I mean, I'm glad that the status quo looks like the Bucks are back. Something's going to change storyline-wise. But these matches, just the matches themselves, this was a half an hour match. And it was like... me and Ness were so bored watching it. I mean, I know it was a long show anyway, but we were so bored watching this match.
I could not believe how much AEW have effectively lent into the template that WWE has been doing for the last, since the pandemic, since Roman Reigns came back as a heel, which a lot of people were bored and sick of then, and they're coming into 2025 with this as their main program.
This is that bad that it's making me feel like I want to turn it off.
Yeah.
That's how bad this is. If this was put on first, get the nonsense out the way, and then I can enjoy the rest of the show, I'd probably accept it.
I started doing stuff around the house while this match was going on. I started doing things like I put out the recycling. I put away some clothes. I did some chores while this match was going on because I knew I weren't missing anything.
Yeah, it was a turd of a match. I mean, I haven't had enough drink to go into a complete run like I did last time. It's just disappointing that they're still doing this. I mean, like, I'm pretty sure Jon Moxley was a good wrestler.
Yeah.
Have I got to go back and watch something from 4 years ago to remind myself? Because, like, what I'm seeing, like, am I in a Mandela effect or something?
Do you know what?
Like,
I'm way ahead of you on that. I have actually done that exact same thing. I've gone back to look at his match with Eddie Kingston, his match against Brian Cage, his matches against Kenny Omega.
Like, were they good, or am I just remembering wrong?
They're so much better than this shit. They're so much better.
So what's happened then? So
he's gotten in love with fucking MMA. That's what's happened. He's done this death jitsu. It's a style of wrestling that he has been...
Yeah, but I wouldn't mind. But he's not doing any MMA stuff during the matches. He's just doing forearm smashes and biting people.
Yeah,
that's literally what he done for that for half an hour.
He had this moment in time where he had a hybrid of his WWE style and this new style that he's creating, and he had that for the first couple of years of AEW, and then it good. Started going south when he hooked up, ironically, with Daniel Bryan. And one of the main things that not the Death Riders, the Blackpool Combat Club, when they were together, like, because Jon Moxley was in a faction called the Blackpool Combat Club with his with Bryan Danielson, who I can never get his name right, whether it's Bryan Danielson or Daniel Bryan these days. It just really messes with my head. Anyway, he started copying Bryan Danielson's moves, and all of the members of the Blackpool Combat Club started sharing moves together, so he started doing moves that he wasn't familiar with. And he kept doing those moves, and now they're the only moves that he does, and they don't look any better now than when he started doing them.
It just looks crap.
Yeah.
It looks crap. Mm-hmm. The forearm smashes, like, you're doing it, like, you can't hear the smack of the forearm, so why do it? It's stupid. The fake biting, it's like biting Swerve Strickland. Like, Swerve Strickland bladed his eyebrow, and then Jon Moxley just spent 10 to 15 minutes just biting him.
Yeah.
Like, no, not a wrestling move.
No.
Like, not even a rest. I'd rather him do a rest hold.
Yeah.
Not that he needed a rest hold, because he didn't move, for God's sake, for half an hour. Like, I want to apologise to Adam Copeland, because I ripped the shit out of Adam Copeland and Jon Moxley for their main event match. It's Jon Moxley's fault. It's entirely Jon Moxley's fault.
Because we know that, because
he's done it again. He's done it again. It's crap.
Yeah. Wow. And the other match that Adam Copeland was on this show, actually really bloody good.
Yeah, everything was better than this match.
Yeah, everything.
Even the pre-show was better than this match.
Did I enjoy the tag match? No, do you know what? I thought the Hurt Syndicate match was probably better than
everything was better. It was crap. It was half hour of boring shit. That's what it was.
It was. You do not want your low point of your pay-per-view to come in the main event.
So, unfortunately, another AEW pay-per-view where you can turn it off just before the Jon Moxley match and you'll have a grand old time.
And the main event at that. And unfortunately, Dave, I have got a sneaking suspicion that this is not the only way. This is not the only one that this is going to happen.
No, this is going to happen. Is he going to be? He's going to be the champion at All In, and he's going to do Double or Nothing, and he's going to still be the champion.
Well, they reckon that Double or Nothing is going to end with Anarchy in the arena. So he'll be in that, and he won't even have a fight for the title.
See, I've heard that rumour, but why do Anarchy in the arena when you're going to do a stadium show in Texas? Why not just do a stadium stampede?
Do stadium stampede, yeah, absolutely. But here's the thing as well. I think I know why this thing with Jon Moxley is continuing for far longer than it should.
They're waiting for Darby. They're waiting for Darby to come back.
Right. It's not just the fact that they're waiting for Darby. Here's my conspiracy theory. Do you see that Jon Moxley has put the AEW heavyweight title in a briefcase?
Yeah.
No one's seen.
Do you think they're waiting for a new belt to be made or something? Or
listen to what I have to say on this.
Go on.
I think the reason why you have not seen the AEW Championship in ages. It's not in that briefcase. It's not in Philadelphia. It's not in America, or even the continent of the Americas. It's in a box somewhere, being dragged along the Nepalese and Tibetan borders. They've given it to Darby Allin so he can take a picture of himself on Mount Everest with the AEW title belt.
You reckon?
I reckon that's where it is, and I reckon that's the reason why nobody's dropped the belt to John Moxley. They don't have a belt to drop to them.
Surely they've got another belt.
I know, like, you would think that.
I'm pretty sure they have multiple copies of the belts. Because don't they have, like... I mean, I'm pretty sure WWE, they have a belt that the wrestlers carry around, and then they have a different belt for TV.
Yeah. But that's the thing, like, I reckon that, obviously, you know, we know that AEW, they don't quite have the
Well, yeah, saying that, because when Chris Jericho started, he lost the title, didn't he?
Yeah, and they couldn't find another one, yeah. So I reckon they've only got it in the budget for one belt, and it's currently with Darby Allin for what Tony Khan is obviously hoping is going to be the publicity stunt of the century, when Darby Allin reaches the peak of Mount Everest, and takes a selfie of himself with the belt on top of the world. Hopefully, Darby Allin survives this trip.
Yeah.
Because, you know, they say it's a 40% rate of survival.
Well, should we get on to the wrestlers? Because, I mean, to be honest, there's nothing I've got any positive to talk about this main event. And to be honest, I mean... If you want it, like, go back a couple of shows and listen to me rant about his last main event if you want something funny, because like this is just more wank. It's just crap, honestly. It's just fuck off, John Moxley, all this shit.
We're going to talk about the.
We had a pre-show, an hour and a half pre-show with less than 12 minutes of wrestling on it. But yeah, I mean, I whizzed through the crowd. We had Nick Wayne and the Crew versus Top Flight and AR Fox. It was basically. It was
a decent. It was a warm up match.
Yeah,
it was getting the crowd.
I mean,
going.
To be honest, it's not the type of thing that would make me want to buy a pay per view though. But
no, I think they actually need to. Them and WWE, they need to rethink what they're doing with pre-shows.
Yeah,
I think what you do is you give everybody the first hour of your pay per view for free.
Well, you can do that when your pay-per-view's fucking 17 hours long, I suppose, yeah.
So what they should do, with give the first hour free on YouTube, have the cut-off point on YouTube during a match.
Yeah, I mean, if you don't want anyone to buy your pay-per-view, put the John Moxley match on it. That's what you do.
I mean, yeah, like, they have got... Now that 2 pay-per-views in a row have ended like this...
They've got to change it.
They have got work to do for Double or Nothing, because Double or Nothing is supposed to be their biggest event.
Well, to be honest, if it's going to be an Anarchy in the Arena match, then at least it's going to be a bit different.
Yeah.
I mean, at least all the Death Riders are going to be there from the start. I ain't going to wait for them waiting for them to come around and ruin shit.
They're going to have all of the spots figured out, choreographed. There's going to be a lot of death match stuff. There's going to be a lot of really high concept, proper prop work going on. So hopefully that gives you something interesting to hang your hat on. Because I do think it's going to be Death Riders and the Young Bucks versus... Hopefully Darby is back at that point, I will say. Yeah. Or maybe that's the match where he makes his return. But it will be him. How many do we need for... There's 4 in the Death Riders. There's 2. So we need 6. So, Darby, Swerve, Hangman... Can they coexist?
And 2 more. Probably a tag team of some sort.
Yeah, maybe. Will Ospreay might be in that one.
Will Ospreay, yeah. Well, anyway, yeah. Pre-show, and then we had Max Caster coming out and doing his best wrestler alive thing.
Hey, Max, you're the best wrestler.
This was good
alive.
because the crowd, the Philly crowd, were actually doing the chant.
He's gotten himself over.
Yeah.
He's actually gotten himself over. But then,
because he realised he was getting, that thing where the heels start getting tried, he realised it, so he started telling them that they were doing it wrong and all this. He was actually really good. It was the best version of this, because he's been doing this for a few weeks and it's been shit.
Yeah.
But this was the best version. And then, obviously, the lights went out, music hit, and we had a returning Anthony Bowens, Max Caster's old tag team partner, And then they had a match which lasted 40 seconds.
Yeah.
And Anthony Bones just battered him. It was
he
great.
Just punched him square in the face.
It was great. This was good. This was good stuff. Considering like the Max Caster stuff has been really crap. This was like if it was building to this, it was good. Hopefully they can stop it now.
Yeah.
But should we get into the actual show then?
Yes.
Because the actual show started off with a banger of a match.
Absolutely.
And a blessing in disguise, really, because this was supposed to have Switchblade Jay White fighting Will Ospreay, but Switchblade was unfortunately injured.
Yes.
So we had a new signing to AEW, Kevin Knight, from the New Japan Dojo, versus Will Ospreay in an opening match for the Owen Hart tournament.
Yeah.
And this was fantastic.
Absolutely.
I mean, Will Ospreay's always fantastic. Yeah. Come on, Lee.
Oh.
Kevin Knight.
Kevin Knight he's a revelation. He is an absolute... Like, I was not familiar with this man's work before. I tell you one big thing that people have started talking about is that, you know, at WWE, start trying to get into that whole, like, you know, they're raiding the indies. They're, like, trying to get people into indie contracts. All of them are going, like, why the hell didn't WWE pay attention to this guy? Apparently, he was looking to work in the United States of America. He was looking for a contract because he didn't want to live in Japan anymore. What the hell were they thinking letting this guy go? Because he is the best...
this guy's brilliant.
Yeah, like unknown talent from our perspective. Easily the best one
he's doing things I haven't seen before.
Yeah,
his finishing move is like a frog splash, but he does a 180 spin in the air. Brilliant. He done the old spot, you know, where they grab the rope and slingshot over the top. He done that over the turnbuckle. Yes. Like over the corner. That was brilliant.
Yeah.
And then like there was a lot of reversals trying to get out of the Styles Clash.
A perfect partner for Will Ospreay.
Ospreay made... I mean, and credit to Will Ospreay, because Will Ospreay gave this Kevin Knight a lot in this match. And, I mean, Will Ospreay does that a lot. And Will Ospreay is one of the best wrestlers in the world.
Yeah.
But, like, people don't really say much about what he does for other wrestlers. If he's wrestling someone he's interested in wrestling, he makes them look amazing. Yeah. He makes them look like stars.
That's why I am a little bit like, okay, now I've got to see what Kevin Knight can do against other people. Yeah. Because, you know, Will Ospreay makes everybody look good. I am so interested to see if Will Ospreay...
this is the third time we've seen Kevin Knight on AEW now, isn't it?
Yeah,
and all of his matches have been good. I'm interested to see how he is on the mic and stuff.
Oh yeah,
because if he's any good on the mic and stuff, then we've got a star there.
Absolutely, yeah. Like, can you imagine this guy against Ricochet, against anyone in that triple threat coming up?
I just don't hope he's Tony Khan's flavour of the month.
Yeah.
You know, he's pushed for a bit and then we disappear. Because there's another person on this card I fear that's going to happen to.
I'll
get to that later.
Yeah. I mean, you know, like, the person who we always think about when we think about what might happen to Kevin Knight, Action Andretti.
Yeah.
Action Andretti was given the world, but ultimately he had a very cool in-ring style and that was kind of it.
Yeah, but I mean, but then did you really think Action Andretti was a star?
No. I thought they tried to make him look like one, specifically because Jericho was desperately trying to find somebody to put over.
If this guy's got the gift of the gab on the mic and that, he's got it. He's good.
Yeah, absolutely.
This was a fantastic opening match. Mm-hmm. And then we went on to we had the Hurt Syndicate.
The Hurt Syndicate
versus the Learning Tree. Big Bill and Brian Keith.
I've heard people poo-poo this match quite a bit, but I'm sorry. I think this is exactly what it should be. This is big lads just chopping the crap out of each other.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, this should have been... I mean, I would have personally put this between the Kenny Omega match and the main event as a buffer, because I think, you know, if you're going to insist on putting Jon Moxley on last, you need to have buffers between...
Absolutely.
You can't have the absolute bangers and then put Jon Moxley on.
This time and last time, the triple threat match this time, the cage match last time... Like, do you want us to fall asleep during the main event?
Oh, no.
Right, what we have now got to do is we have got to promise that we will not talk about the main event for the rest of the show.
Okay, we'll try. It's just, it was so wank. It's hard.
So bad.
You know. But this was a perfectly fine tag match. You know, Ness sat there and moaned about the Hurt Syndicate's music again. But
not the biggest fan of the Hurt Syndicate's music.
No,
We hurt people.
I like the crowd chanting it because
Yeah.
I expect it's quite fun to be in the crowd and chant those things. You know?
Yeah.
But yeah, it is. Yeah, I mean, this is what it was. Big Bill looked all right. It was fine. We had an interference from MJF. Intrigued to see what. I mean, to be honest, I don't know why MJF is in a storyline like this when he's so much better. But
Yeah.
you know, never mind. But then after this, we had another Owen Hart tournament match, women's one.
That's really sorry. Just going back to the MJF thing.
MJF.
That's so weird.
Yeah, it's just weird.
He don't fit into that. He like that is just such a. It's baffling to me. I don't know what he's doing there. I don't know what the end goal is. I don't know what the motivation is. I understand that him and MVP have got a decent relationship together, but if there's one thing that Maxwell Jacob Friedman does not need, it is a mouthpiece.
No. Just to be honest though, MJF has he's earned my trust in letting the storyline play out.
Okay.
So I'll see where it goes and I'll judge it.
Some people would not give him that same confidence.
But then again, when has MJF really disappointed with a storyline?
Well, I mean, there was the whole post All In 2 years ago.
Yeah, but see, I mean, that might have been better had Adam Cole not got injured. I think they just didn't know what to do with that because Adam Cole got injured.
I do think that the one thing that MJF is guilty of is that he doesn't kill his darlings. But whether or not...
Is that his choice or is that Tony Khan's choice?
Yeah, that is because as we can see from... Oh, God, I'm going to say it again. Because in the main event, we know that Tony Khan doesn't like killing his darlings either.
He broke the main event rule already.
Yep,
anyway, next match. Mercedes Moné, Julia versus Julia Hart.
Oh, for Christ's sake, the match after this is the Death Rider, so we'll be talking about it again as well.
Well, let's talk about Mercedes Moné and Julia Hart in the Owen Hart.
Yes, absolutely.
Because this was one of my favourite matches of the show, strangely enough.
Oh.
I mean, it was clunky.
Yeah.
But it was... I really enjoyed this.
Exactly what, and this goes for the Will Ospreay and the Kevin Knight match as well. Exactly what you want your tournament matches to be.
Yeah, and it's weird because looking at the card now, you think, why are there tournament matches on a pay-per-view?
Yeah.
These should be TV matches. But funny enough, these tournament matches were the better matches of the show, really.
Now, I thought that... So is it... So at Double or Nothing, is it the Owen Hart final?
Yeah, and then the winner will go on.
Right, okay, that makes more sense.
So the finals will be at the Double or Nothing pay-per-view, and then the winner will be the challengers at All In. But this was, I mean, Mercedes Moné is just, she's just having banger after banger for me.
And she don't, what she does is she does the same thing, funnily enough, as what Cody Rhodes did when he had the TNT title, and what Darby Allin did when they had the TNT title. And she's following suit now that she's got the TBS title. She doesn't have long feuds. She creates a story that is contained within a single match, and it is told entirely through wrestling.
Yeah.
And it's fantastic.
It's good.
I think that this type of storytelling in wrestling has been completely underrated by people who have just grown up watching fucking WWE in the Attitude Era and the 2010s and that. This kind of wrestling, this kind of storytelling is what wrestling was built upon, and I think it's fantastic.
Yeah, just, little feuds. You can come back to these afterwards, and things. Yeah, this is really good. I mean, for me, the women on AEW have got, I was raging about the women on WWE and NXT for the first couple of months this year, but the women on AEW have just been so great the last couple of months.
Absolutely, yeah. And the thing is that WWE have shown they have got some of the best talent, women's talent in the absolute world, and the last few weeks have absolutely shown that they do not know how to book them, and they don't know what to do when plans change, as I think was evident recently on NXT with the whole Vasquez thing, winning the title and then dropping the title straight afterwards.
But this was good. I mean, there was some really good. There was a spot where I think Mercedes Moné slipped on the rope.
Yeah.
And in front of the Philadelphia crowd, she was going to get shit for that.
Yeah.
And she just stopped, took a second, and just did her little taunt,
Yeah.
And just shut the crowd up. Perfect heel work. It was brilliant.
She is a Boston girl in a Philadelphia city.
She is. Yeah. I mean, to be honest, her first few months in AEW were a bit iffy, but she has just got so good.
Yeah, and the reason why, less talking during the segments, less out of ring storytelling, more in ring storytelling.
And the thing is, as well, she's having matches with people who are beneath her now that are really good. Because I've always found Mercedes Moné was only good when she was wrestling someone on her level.
Yeah.
Anyone below it was a bit... But, she had a match with... What's her name? Was Harley Cameron.
Yeah.
That was great. Julia Hart. I mean, this had no business being as good as it was.
Absolutely. I mean, don't get me wrong. Julia Hart has massively improved.
She's better every time you watch her. She's great. Oh, and another thing, I really enjoyed. Julia Hart did the old school, the Undertaker walk on the rope.
Right. Yeah.
I thought that was a really nice touch because she's the spooky.
She's
one.
the spooky girl.
So I thought, I enjoyed this. This was great. This was one of my favorite. I mean, it wasn't match of the night, but this was probably like one of my favorite matches of the night.
Oh yeah,
I enjoyed this so much.
Yeah, it really sucked me in. Yeah.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. It was a good 15 minutes of just good fun match.
Another match that I thought was really good, that I was not necessarily looking forward to. Death Riders versus Rated FTR.
I'm going to be honest with you. I didn't really get into this match.
Did you not get into this
match?
No,
we was watching it, and then the fucking neighbour upstairs started banging, so I had to give them a shout in too.
Right, you might want to recontextualise what you mean by banging.
No, they was making noise. They was fucking hammering and shit. They do it all the fucking time, wankers. So I had to give them a shout in too, and then me and Ness were discussing car payment plans. We was discussing our car service plan, so I was preoccupied with that, to Ness's annoyance, because Ness spat out some figures to me and it didn't make sense to me. And if I feel like I'm getting cheated out of money, I'll go on a rampage. So I was asking her many questions and she was visibly getting annoyed at me. But that's just how I am. So to be fair, I did kind of zone out a bit while watching this.
Well, if I'm going to talk about this match, there's two...
I remember what I watched, what I can remember, I enjoyed.
Yeah. So, trios matches like this, where you've got spots going off all over the place.
Do you need another beer, Lee? Or are you
yes,
still going?
please, mate.
Here, go on. We're having another Desperado.
Yeah, we'll do the... Fuck.
Oh. Don't...
We got a live one.
Don't get the microphone on the beer, Lee.
Oh, God. This is the reason why
I did that.
Yep.
I was going to say I've got sticky fingers. It's not a good thing to...
No, right.
Two dudes in a room alone together, we've got sticky fingers.
This is the reason why I had the Kleenexes in here. I get rid of them every time, so you won't make a joke about me having a...
Well, I mean, to be honest, he's left the room to go get something. And we're currently talking about a match that I don't really remember. But, so...
Give me 2 seconds.
Well... I'm just gonna go on to the post-match angle, if that's all right with you. Right, so this match, once it ended, we had a post-match angle, which was probably the best thing about the match. So we had Rated FTR lost the match. For the past couple of weeks, they've been losing a few title matches and things like that, and they've been kind of teasing whether they're going to turn on each other. So we had a bit of a tease whether FTR were going to turn on each other, and then all of a sudden. Is it Dax? Dax, yeah. Dax just pile drivered Adam Copeland on the bad neck of the surgically repaired neck. He pile drivered him, and then there was a bit of a tiff between FTR.
Yep.
And then all of a sudden, they gave Adam Copeland the Shatter Machine.
Yeah.
And then they gave him a concerto.
And it didn't look
And FTR just went full heel mode, and it was glorious. It was great.
I have not understood. I mean, okay, I know that Dax had a little girl, and that little girl got cancer, and so he wanted to be a role model, he wanted to do charity work, he wanted to be inspirational because of what his daughter went through. But my God, FTR are born heels, and they are boring baby faces, and this is going to be what I think is going to be the re-ignition of AEW's tag team division.
Yeah, this feud is going to reek of awesomeness.
Oh, God, yes. Oh, wow, that sounded a little... Yeah, okay, we'll move swiftly on from that.
That's a bit on the nose, isn't it, that one?
Ooh,
Yeah, I predict
that was Freudian. That was a Freudian slip.
I hope this is gonna lead into a face turn for a face edging Christian.
Yeah.
Cope and Christian.
Cope and Cage.
Cope and Cage. Oh, I hope this is what this leads into.
Yeah.
I really do. FTR is bad. I like FTR as bad guys.
Yeah.
I mean, did you want to say anything about the match itself, really? Because I don't really remember much about the specifics of the match.
The only thing that I would say...
For me, this was a post-match angle.
Yeah. I mean, I love trios matches. I love, trios matches where the two people in the ring changes every 2 seconds and they're all interacting with each other and stuff like that. But one thing that I really felt really drove home about this match is that not only is the Jon Moxley match now reliably the worst match on the show, he's also the worst person in his faction.
He is, yeah.
He is. I would put...
He's Aleister Black.
I would put Claudio Castagnoli, Pac, and Wheeler Yuta above him. I'd put Marina Shafir above him in his own faction. Yeah. And that is just an absolute depressing state of affairs.
Yeah, it was a fun trios match, but the post-match angle, that's what it was all about.
Yeah.
But then we had another banger afterwards.
Mm-hmm, absolutely.
Can't speak. Timeless Toni Storm versus Megan Bayne for the Women's Championship. Another great match for Toni Storm. Not as good as the last pay-per-view of hers, but I mean, she did fight Mariah May with all the bells and whistles. But this was a good wrestling match.
So, the Hollywood ending is maybe the greatest women's match I've ever seen.
Yeah,
it's my favourite women's match ever.
To be honest, it would have taken a lot to live up to that.
Yeah,
this was good. This was really good still.
Yeah, and it was a good showing that Toni Storm does not necessarily need all the bells and the whistles in order to tell a really good story. The opening Rocky montage I thought was fantastic.
Yeah, and coming down to the ring with the Rocky gear and
they're in Philadelphia, so they're doing
Luther
all
dressed
that
as
business.
Mickey.
Yeah, Luther dressed as Mickey. Get him, Rocky.
Yeah, I thought this was really good. I'm hoping Megan Bayne gets more out of this because the thing is, I'm a bit on the fence about Megan Bayne. I really enjoy her wrestling, but there's not been any really character development for her. And I'm hoping she doesn't turn into the same thing with Tony. I don't hope it's not like she's Tony Khan's new toy and then she just disappears once he gets bored.
Did you see the video vignette where she was talking over the video?
Yeah.
I thought that she spoke really well. She's got an excellent quality of voice. I don't know whether or not she can do that live. I don't know how well she can do that in front of a live crowd.
I hope we get to see it.
Yeah.
I want to see it.
I hope so as well. But also, bizarrely, you never actually saw... It was entirely voiceover. The camera was not on her while she was speaking at all. So I actually thought to myself, wait a minute, is she got... Are they overdubbing her with a voice actor? Is that even her voice? So I'm actually wondering about that.
Yeah, I mean, I want to see some... Because, it's just, you've got to have a character in wrestling. This is the problem I have with Serena Deeb. She's a great wrestler, but she's just boring. She's just she just comes across as a boring person on television.
She's the female Lance Storm.
Yeah, but Lance Storm made his boringness work, though. I mean, to be honest, sometimes you can be so good that you can just be boring.
Yeah.
And not speak. You have people like Lance Storm and Chris Benoit. You know what I mean? You can just, Dean Malenko. You know what I mean? So
God, WWE gave him a 007 gimmick. That was such a misfire.
So this was good. This was another good match from Toni Storm. She retains. More of this, please.
Yeah, Megan Bayne massively protected in defeat as well.
Yeah, she looked. Yeah. It was another. That's a lot of these matches. Yeah. Both wrestlers came out looking strong.
Exactly, yeah, and hopefully that is a sign that they are investing in her and she will have more to do in the future. But at the same time, we hope the same thing from Taya Valkyrie and Deonna Purrazzo and...
I think he's done with them now, isn't he?
Yeah, probably. Which is really, really like that. Poor Deonna Purrazzo has had such a tough time of it. She came out of TNA, went into WWE. WWE forgot she existed. She's gone into AEW. done actually some really great character work in AEW with the Vendetta. I think that was actually really cool.
I didn't like it.
Did you not like it?
I don't like it. I mean, I've gone off Taya Valkyrie as well.
Have you?
Yeah, she came in. I was really hyped for Taya Valkyrie when she came in, and then she just, I don't know. It's just. Should we get on the next match?
Yeah, get on the next.
Carl
match.
Fletcher, Mark Briscoe, another Owen Hart match.
Okay, so the thing that you said for the Death Riders versus Rated FTR.
Yeah.
This is for me. I don't remember an awful lot of this one. This was the point at which... So I actually watched this show in 2 stages.
Yeah.
And watching this match was the reason... Like, I thought to myself, right, I've got to go to bed, watch the next 2 hours of this show in the morning, because this is the point at which I am no longer able to concentrate on the wrestling. Yeah.
This match, I mean, when this was... I thought, why is this on... Like, I thought, collision match.
Yeah.
You know, this should be on TV. But actually, this match was really good.
Yeah, I mean, I don't doubt that for a second.
This match was really good. Both guys came out looking brilliant. I mean, Mark Briscoe... I mean, to be honest, this was meant to hype Carl Fletcher. That's what this match was. But Mark Briscoe... I mean, the crowd really got behind... Mark Briscoe on this. This was great. This was a brilliant match. Yeah. Carl Fletcher is really good. I'm really liking Carl Fletcher.
I am hoping that Kevin Knight follows in the Carl Fletcher footsteps rather than the the Action Andretti footsteps.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Like
or Matt Sydal,
yeah. I hope so, yeah. Carl Fletcher is really good.
Yeah.
He's really good heel. This was a really good match. You know, he's just so, you know, he comes out in all the weird gear and he just looks ridiculous, and then his wrestling is really good. Yeah, it's a great match. I mean, to be honest, I don't know what else to say about it. It was a good match. It was a good match. I don't know if it needed to be on the pay-per-view, but it was good.
Well, to be fair, I would say we have now run into the length of matches that should probably have not been on the pay-per-view, should probably have been made TV matches.
Yeah. Well, next match, we had Bandido versus Chris Jericho in a mask versus
title match.
You know what? I actually enjoyed the match.
I think this is Chris Jericho's best match since him versus Roderick Strong in a Falls Count Anywhere match on Dynamite.
Is that the one where Adam Cole was waiting outside the building?
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought Chris Jericho was wrestled a much better match than he has in a long time.
Yeah, I agree. This is easily his best match for
it had some nice spots in it. There was a good spot with Bandido holding a one-armed suplex on Chris Jericho for a minute. Brilliant. I mean, to be honest, I think Bandido suffered with a few injuries. That's been the problem with Bandido, because he's brilliant, Bandido. But yeah, this was a good match. The ending was wonky. I thought it completely ruined. So, I mean, in my opinion, so Chris Jericho lost the championship in the end, but what happened was Chris Jericho got a baseball bat out after some interference and hit Bandido and cheated and won. And I was sitting there thinking, what? Like, are they going to remove Bandido's mask? Like, anyone who don't know Bandido, he's a luchador with a mask on.
And in luchador circles.
But his mask is, like, in the shape of a bandana. And it's pretty much his gimmick. And I thought, well, so in luchador circles, if once you lose your mask, you lose your mask.
Yeah, and it's a big thing. It is a huge thing
and I thought,
in Lucha Libre.
So Chris Jericho won, and I thought, what? Because I thought it was a dead cert.
Yeah.
And then, so basically what happened after that is you had Bandido's mum and sister sitting at ringside, and they decided to tell the referees that Chris Jericho used a bat. Bear in mind, the referees didn't see Chris Jericho use a bat, but they told them, they brought them over the barricade to the ring to show the referees the bat, and then the referees decided to restart the match, and then Bandido won. So basically, Bandido got his mum to tell the referees to, like... So at least
Bandido's mum knocked on Chris Jericho.
Yeah.
The guy whose entire persona is
the referees didn't see it, so they basically just got a spectator to get the match over to... It was stupid.
Yeah.
I mean, at least we know who's under that mask now. It must be Buff Bagwell. It must be Buff Bagwell under there. Surely. He's got his mum to change the result.
We're going to have a Bandido's mum on a pole match.
Yeah. No, I mean, to be honest, it is what it is. This was a lot better than I thought it was going to be. The ending was just stupid. Bandito should have just won clean. I don't know why they.
I mean, a Chris Jericho match has to disappoint you in some way. And he was like, right, I'm actually vibing really well with this Bandito guy, so I've got to overbook the ending. I
mean, I understand the ending because it plays into what happened in the last meeting, but it was just stupid. It was a bit wank.
Yeah,
that's what it was.
You're using that word again. You do. Is this intentional now?
It is. Yeah, it's intentional now. It's,
stops you from saying the C word and upsetting your wife.
Yeah, it's for the bit, isn't it? Yeah. Better than calling everyone cunts, isn't it?
No edits, Dave. No edits.
Oh, I've only had one Desperado, Lee. It's done again.
Ooh, Desperado. I wonder if that's the official beer of Bandito.
Could be. Anyway, Adam Cole, Daniel Garcia, TNT Championship was next.
Right, so...
This was the lull in the show for me.
Really? Right.
You know what? The match was good, but this is the point where I was tired.
Yeah. So, for me, the fact that I've heard so many people go like, yeah, the crowd went into it, it's 3 hours into the show by this point, and because I had cut the pay-per-view into two parts...
You was awake for this one.
I was awake for this one. I really enjoyed it. I heard the same thing said about Adam Cole and Daniel Garcia's match for Collision. Now, what really depresses me about this is that these are the matches that they've been having have been fantastic matches, I think, from an in-ring perspective. Pardon me. But it's literally all they're doing is they're wrestling. And I think that in this crazy world of professional wrestling, just wrestling should be enough. I have enjoyed their feud from the perspective
just wrestling isn't enough.
I have enjoyed their feud from the perspective of the last 2 or 3 AEW and WWE shows that I have seen. There has been violence, there has been blood, there have been blood feuds, there has been spiked baseball bats, and Kevin Owens being buried inside of a ladder and all of this other stuff. And honestly, the Adam Cole, Daniel Garcia match that is just 2 people fighting over a championship for the championship's sake, for me has been a breath of fresh air and a welcome de-escalation to all of the over-the-top operatic stuff that has been going on.
No, I agree. I mean, to be honest, wrestling should be a variety show. And this is, as it's placed. It's just, for me, it's the 10th match in or whatever it is.
Yeah.
Or no, 8, no, because that's including the pre-show matches, isn't it? So, well, to be honest, this was three and a half hours in, this was, about that. And so I was tired. I was just, I was ready to see Kenny Omega at this point. Absolutely, yeah. And that's the. I mean, this was only 15 minutes. I mean, to be honest, I'm pretty sure I got up to make a cup of tea during this, and I went to get some more snacks because I was getting tired and stuff. But yeah, I mean, it was a perfectly fine match for what it is.
So you're committed to watching the whole thing in one sitting?
Yeah.
See, that's the thing for me. Like, because we've set a hard rule that we do this once every couple of weeks instead of trying to be reactive and do these things straight after a show. There's no rush for me, and so therefore I've actually enjoyed. I've had every intention the last 2 times that we've sat down to talk about an AEW show of watching the whole thing on the Monday, not being able to, and then having to watch half of it on the Tuesday, and it's made my viewing experience.
The problem is, when it comes to the AEW stuff, Ness watches AEW with me, so we watch it together. Whereas, the WWE stuff, I just watch it.
Yeah.
I watched Raw on the bus today.
Yeah.
Because I knew I weren't going to miss much because it was wank. But so I'll just watch Raw within it. Whereas this, it's like this was on Sunday night, in the middle of the night, so we have to watch it another time. Ness didn't finish work till like 6:30 yesterday, so she got home. Yeah, I had some food ready for her. She ate it, and then we just sat and watched it till midnight and went to bed.
Yeah. Do you know what I've actually realised about watching Raw and SmackDown? You don't need to watch Raw and SmackDown on Netflix at all. Watch YouTube the next day.
Yeah,
they've got all of the best things on that show in full. It even tells you on the YouTube channel. Here is the John Cena Cody Rhodes segment in full. Here is the Seth Rollins.
I mean, when it comes to WWE for me, I watch SmackDown on a Saturday morning. I normally just sit there while I'm monging Saturday morning, instead of watching cartoons like a little kid. You know? NXT, I like to sit and watch because I enjoy it. Yeah. And then Raw, I generally just watch like before I come round here. Normally, I get in from work and I'll just put that on before I come round. Like.
But the best thing about watching it on YouTube is the fact that I've got one segment in front of me instead of having an entire 2.5 block where Netflix desperately needs chapters. They need a chapter system.
They do. The only thing is, watching it on YouTube, there's so many bloody adverts on the WWE stuff on YouTube.
Oh, I am. I've got YouTube Premium, so I don't get any of that.
I'm not posh, so AEW Plus is enough for me, and Netflix.
I realised I watch way more YouTube than I watch anything else. So if I'm like paying £17,
well, to be honest, see, I found I can get rid of the I found a way to get rid of the adverts on the telly.
Oh, okay, right.
So I do that, but it's all right when there's an advert like every 20 minutes or something if you're watching a big long video. But with
WWE,
it's like every 30 seconds, it's ridiculous, stupid. But anyway, shall we get back to AEW? Because the next match was the match of the night.
Yeah, the best thing on the show, mate. Once again, this should have been the main event. You can literally turn it off as this match ends. So and you will have seen a fantastic pay-per-view.
So this was Kenny Omega defending his International Championship against Ricochet and newly signed Speedball Mike Bailey, who I was very low on last time. To be honest, watching the first few minutes of this match, I was thinking, what would make this match better if we had someone else instead of Speedball? Because he done quite early on. He done the silly kick thing where he does. I think that just looks phony. It just looks like two kids playing kung fu. It's crap. But I think for me, once he started working, selling the knee and stuff. Yeah. From there, Speedball was brilliant.
The knee bump
I thought once Speedball after that. I mean, the match was good up till that point anyway. But I think personally, Speedball, my opinion changed after that when he was selling the knee and some of the spinning, the roundhouse kicks he was doing and the flippy knee drops and all this. I mean, I saw it coming a million miles away, but even did a crane kick.
Yeah, absolutely.
He'd done the Karate Kid crane kick, and I was totally for it. I mean, I'd still find him very cheesy.
Yeah, he's very corny. When he went into the announce desk and he bumped into the announcers, he immediately put on one of their headphones to apologise to them afterwards. I'm like, oh my god, how Canadian are you?
Well, you even had a good bit where Ricochet was on the announce. Picked up the headset and was talking, and then all of a sudden he just got a kick in the face. I mean, this was great. There was some great spots. There was so we had to lead into this match. The reason it was a triple threat is because Ricochet and Speedball double pinned someone, didn't they, in the qualifier match? And there was a good spot in this where they all were pinning both the guys.
Yeah,
like Kenny Omega had Ricochet and Speedball rolled up, and then Speedball rolled up Ricochet. And
that is proper PWG shit.
That was the
stuff I live for.
I was totally for it. This match was just this was just non-stop action, fun. This match went on for half an hour. It did not feel like half an hour.
It did not feel like half an hour.
I was tired going into this match.
Yeah,
and I was awake watching this match. This was brilliant.
I literally looked at what this match was and what I thought it was going to be and thought to myself, oh my god, the Jon Moxley match is going to be 45 minutes long. Because I thought to myself, there's no way
this is going to be half hour.
Threat,
when I saw there's an hour left, I thought, what's going on?
Yeah, I thought
I thought there was another match, and I was like, I didn't want to check because I totally managed to get away with the spoilers.
Oh, did you get away with them?
Pretty much. No. So I thought, well, I don't want to check the match listings,
For me, it's not enough to simply not go on social media anymore. I have to literally walk around the house with my hands in my ears.
I managed to get away without the spoilers this time, pretty much. But this was brilliant. This was just top to bottom great. I do fear that Speedball Mike Bailey will be flavour of the month for Tony Khan, though.
I do feel that as well.
I don't feel like Speedball Mike Bailey is. I don't see him as a world champion or anything.
I see him as prime main event material for Ring of Honor.
Yeah, and
I feel like that is. Yeah, I feel like him versus Bandido will be the kind of thing that will get people picking up Honor Club for. Now, I actually have Honor Club. I pay for Honor Club every month. Do I watch anything on Honor Club? No. I'm not even sure how to, frankly.
See, I would watch it.
Yeah.
If I did. But I'm not... How much is Honor Club now?
Oh, like £5 a month.
Is it? I thought it was dearer than that.
It might be $7 at the most.
I thought it was about 10.
No, I don't think so. It might be $10. It might be $10
okay.
a month.
Yeah, because the thing is, it's just that because I pay for AEW Plus, and it's like I can't justify paying more for Ring of Honor. I watched enough wrestling as it is.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, WWE is feeling like a bit of a chore to slog for.
Oh,
I mean,
Christ,
to be honest, I might even just cut down on a lot of the WWE stuff. To be fair,
exactly like I said, I will watch the YouTube
which is
stuff because that's the interesting
I watch
stuff.
it for the fan.
Yeah.
Singular, the fan. I watch it for the fan. No, I do enjoy the NXT, and to be honest, I mean SmackDown is crap, but it's not a chore because it's just Saturday morning. Put it on, leave it while I'm doing, you know. But yeah, so this was great. This was match of the night. Turn it off after this match because you know the show just went downhill after this. Yeah. So if we would have got rid of that main event, it would have been like a nice, neat 4-hour show, pretty much.
Yeah. Well,
pretty
nice,
fair.
neat 4-hour show. I mean, like, really, I do think that, you know, like, as much as I enjoyed it, did Carl Fletcher and Mark Briscoe need to be on here? I actually think that Adam Cole versus... It's the TNT Championship. I think it should be fought for on TNT.
I think, Carl Fletcher, Bandido... Like them 3 matches and the TNT matches, if you took them 3 out, I mean, how long were those matches combined?
Yeah, I mean,
what they were.
Take these 3 out, you've got
about
45 minutes.
Yeah, if you took that off, it would have been a nice.
But 3.5 hours. I think people would have been all right with that. Yeah, I mean, just the broadcast itself. What the fuck was the Okay, so the pre-show was literally just 12 minutes of wrestling,
which was an hour and a half pre-show.
Yeah, and as much as I love RJ City and Renee Paquette, I am not listening to them for an hour and a half.
Yeah, I don't watch this.
There are certain episodes of AEW that I think go on a bit like too long.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, I am criticising it, but then is this program? This program isn't really designed for me. This is designed for someone who's not going to buy the pay-per-view to watch. Yeah,
like you're trying to persuade people to get in.
Yeah, I don't know if this does that effectively.
I still think that they need to, like, them and WWE need to figure out what the actual.
I don't know when did it, because they used to be about an hour, didn't they?
Yeah.
When did they become an hour and a half?
I think it was about the first.
Because they started changing it where it was like the first half hour was nonsense, and then it was about an hour of wrestling. Whereas this turned out to be not an hour of wrestling.
They must have marketing statistics and materials that tell them that people watch for this amount of time, and if they watch for this amount of time, then they put down the money for it because you're beating them to death or whatever, or you're wearing them down. I think that's a more appropriate metaphor. Yeah,
but anyway,
sorry, I've just seen a name that I don't recognise, and I'm like, who? That's she?
That's
her.
Okay. Lee's just found on Wikipedia the name of Lexi Nair, and he got confused.
I was like, who the hell is that?
That's DDP's daughter.
Is that DDP's daughter?
I think it's DDP's daughter.
Oh, wow.
She's married to Big Bill.
Is she now?
She's married to Big Bill.
Oh, wow. Oh.
Yeah. Funny enough, me and Ness were discussing that last night.
Were you?
Because she was like, I wonder, because we haven't seen a photo of them together. I was like, I wonder how weird that would look, because obviously he's massive and she's tiny. But anyway.
Logistically, how would that even work?
But yeah, so AEW Dynasty, what do you reckon overall? Was it?
Well, you know what? An absolutely decent 4 out of 5 show.
It was 20 quid worth spent.
Have the last match. You put the last match on, and unfortunately, you've got to pull it down by at least half a star. Like, because it's the prime position, it's the main event match, it's the thing that you are theoretically paying to watch. It is Swerve Strickland in the worst that Swerve Strickland has looked since before he won the AEW title, and that's not because of him.
Yeah, I mean you've got to go out of your way to make Swerve Strickland look bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, it was 20 quid worth well spent.
Mm-hmm.
to be honest, because I mean, I knew the main event was going to piss me off.
Yeah.
So it did. So it didn't anger me as much as last time because I was expecting it.
Just that they did so well in the last 30 seconds of the go home show of Dynamite with the angle between Swerve and Hangman. I was certain that is it. Swerve Strickland's going to win. They've done it in 30 seconds. They didn't need 4 weeks. They just needed 30 seconds.
No, I mean, overall, most of the matches, you had, like, everyone came out of the match. I mean, like, the triple threat, even everyone came out looking better than they did going in. Even the singles matches, everyone looked better than they did going in.
Yeah.
So, all the matches were good. Even the matches that you think, oh, why was they on this show? They were good. Like the Owen Hart stuff. You know, we got to see some new people who really impressed. Speedball Mike Bailey impressed me quite a bit on this compared to I was a bit down on him. So yeah, it was good. It was a good show.
It's made me really want to see the next Owen Hart Cup tournament matches,
and it's made me want to watch Dynamite. It's become like it's gave me that little like Attitude Era feeling where it's like I need to see what happens on Wednesday.
There are going to be some shenanigans. Unfortunately, AEW, and I don't know whether or not I'm thinking about, like AEW's past and maybe they're over this now, but this kind of thing on AEW back in the day would not be followed up because obviously we want to see what the Young Bucks have to say.
Yeah.
And there's a very big possibility if you watch AEW's history that they won't be on TV for a couple of weeks.
Yeah, we need to see them this week.
We need to
see what the Young Bucks have to say. We need to see what FTR have to say.
Yes. Absolutely. FTR.
I mean, I don't expect any follow-up on Hangman Page because his stuff's always a slow burn. But, so...
And also, like, I get the feeling that, like, the Hangman Page and Swerve Strickland angle is going to be something that gets revisited because they need to contextualise why the Young Bucks went after Swerve specifically.
Yeah, I mean, is it the thing were they doing it for Hangman?
Were they doing it for Hangman? Obviously the last time we saw them, they were running out of AEW because they did not want to get in the Death Riders' way. Did they decide that, okay, we're not going to try and go against the Death Riders, we're going to join them?
Yeah. So
that sort of thing?
We've got to see what happens. I'm intrigued to see what happens. So, yeah. So, positive overall.
Absolutely, yeah.
Positive overall.
With just one big albatross around its neck. Yeah.
We got anything else we want to talk about?
We've gone an hour 7, so I think we should get into our match recommendations for people to watch.
Let's do our match. Well, we'll quickly briefly talk out because we recommended stuff last week. I recommended you an ECW match from the One Night Stand.
Yes.
What was it? Tanaka versus Michaelson.
Oh yeah.
I think didn't we watch that literally after the LOB Cast?
Yeah, I think we did. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean you already seen that match anyway. But
yeah.
So hopefully, if anyone watched it, you enjoyed it.
Just a huge recommendation if you haven't for, I would say, both One Night Stand shows. I would say the first one is better than the second one. But the second one is still an absolute.
Well, the main event is.
The main event is.
But and then you recommended me a CM Punk match, which I did watch, and you recommended promo, which I think I did. But I mean, it was a shitty YouTube video that was very bad quality.
We are going to be a bit more careful as to the availability of what we are.
Yeah, I mean, we're going to assume that most this is a wrestling podcast. WWE is on Netflix. We're assuming you have access to WWE because it's the big thing. So we're just going to assume that. If we recommend WWE, hopefully we'll try and provide ones that are on YouTube as well. It might be easier. But so we're going to try and do that for like WWE and hopefully find out if it's got to be on Netflix or YouTube. Really, I think is the
absolutely
is the deal. Or if it's like an AEW... Well, we ain't really recommended AEW because we've watched all AEW. We're recommending stuff that we haven't seen.
And so basically we have watched... we've been avidly watching AEW since 2019.
I think I've seen every AEW match ever, so...
I have not, because the first few pay-per-views, I did not have great options as to how to
I think I missed a Rampage once. Because I wasn't paying for the it wasn't on AEW, it wasn't on ITV yet, and I didn't have the AEW Plus yet, so I was trying to watch it on YouTube, and someone didn't post it on there.
Do you know? Funnily enough, the only episode of Dynamite I have never seen is one of the most critically acclaimed episodes of television. Maybe what people would say is the best episode of Dynamite in its history. Yeah, I have not seen.
What's that one?
That is the Brody Lee tribute match.
Oh, that was a great show.
It was a great show, but
I mean, it's weird saying that was a great show because it was a tribute show to someone who died.
Yeah.
But, I mean, it was. I mean, as a tribute, it was probably the best tribute show because I mean, I remember watching like the Owen Hart tribute shows and things like that. Yeah, it was a nice. It was emotional.
It was an emotional night, show. And unfortunately, I was in the absolute throes of COVID at the time.
Yeah.
So that's the reason why I didn't see it. And
to be honest,
it's appropriate.
It's not really. Yeah, it's not really one you go back and watch.
No,
is it? Something like that.
It's pandemic wrestling. There's a lot of emotions being thrown around. I cannot stand the sight of grown men crying because I will end up joining them. I remember watching the Eddie Guerrero tribute show and not being able to handle myself. Yeah, so I think this will be the exact same way.
Yeah. So we got any you got any recommendations for next?
I did think of something.
I mean, I know everyone's going to be. We've got WrestleMania between now and our next show, so everyone's going to be probably. But if you do get the time, we do have some recommendations for you to watch. What you got for me?
Oh God, this is going to sound so cruel. Right, so I was watching this show and I thought to myself, it'd be real funny if after watching this main event and having to watch the last main event on an AEW show, that the match I recommend Dave goes back and watches is the Ambrose Asylum match from WWE.
Is it shit? I'll watch it.
This is the last time that I thought that Jon Moxley was as bad as what he is right now.
Okay. I mean, because we sat and watched that zombie match from the pandemic the other week, didn't we? After one of our shows,
that was actually kind of hilarious.
Oh, yeah. So what is it? The Asylum.
Right. So it is Dean Ambrose versus Chris Jericho in the Ambrose Asylum match.
And when was this? Do you know?
Oh, let me look that up because these details are always something that preen for the camera, Dave. Fill in.
You know, just see. I know the date of my match because I take my position as a broadcast journalist seriously, Lee.
Oh well, I wish I did the same, Dave. But you're a professional in this thing.
I'm working with an amateur.
Yeah.
You know. I mean, luckily enough, you're...
Extreme Rules 2016.
There we go. Extreme Rules 2016. Mm-hmm. It is on YouTube by the looks of it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think that's an official link, but it will be. That will be on Netflix. Pretty sure that will be on Netflix. Anyway, we will endeavour to put a link in the doobly-doo for that.
In the doobly-doo. What he means by that, if you're new to this podcast, he means the description.
Yeah. So So my match is. I'm hoping this is a bit before your time.
Okay.
Because this is 2002.
Oh right.
So this is a bit before your time, and this is probably arguably the best Raw match ever. In many.
Did you see this live?
I watched this on telly. Yeah.
Oh, you watched it on telly.
I watched it on.
You weren't there live.
No, I weren't there live. No,
okay,
because it was in America, Lee.
Okay, all right. No, the reason why I say that is because a lot of people.
Are you thinking of Shawn Michaels and
versus John Cena?
I was there for that, but that was a good one. Mm-hmm. No, but this one is.
I was so jealous of you for getting to see it. I was jealous.
I was actually on Raw that night.
Yeah,
I was. You can see me in the crowd, distinctively, because we were sitting next to four men dressed as Hulk Hogan, so it was easy to pick me out. So yeah, but this match is 2002, October 7th. Mm-hmm. And this match is just
definitely on Netflix.
This isn't on Netflix.
This isn't
not on British Netflix.
Okay.
So you Americans, you Americans, like the four people who listen to this, none of you are American. But anyway, so you might be able to find this on Peacock or wherever. But this is definitely on YouTube. Mm-hmm. I searched, I found it's on YouTube in full on WWE's channel, and it is just simply known as TLC4. TLC4.
Okay then, that intrigues me greatly.
Get your Wikipedia up for TLC4, Lee. See how it wets your whistle.
Greatest matches in Raw history, TLC4.
There you go. I did get the date right, didn't I?
Yeah.
October 7th. There we go.
Bubba Ray, Spike Dudley.
Bubba Ray and Spike versus Rob Van Dam and Jeff Hardy versus Christian and Chris Jericho versus Kane.
50% of... Wait, Kane's just on his own.
Okay, well, he was supposed to be teaming with Hurricane Helms, but Hurricane Helms was like injured earlier in the night, so Kane had to wrestle alone.
Was it by Kane himself? Did he just like get so angry he smashed into pieces?
I can't remember. I don't think it was Kane himself. I mean, this was like over 20 years ago, so I don't remember the specifics. I just remember this match because I've seen this match quite a few times because this was on my. I think I had the 10th anniversary or 15th anniversary, and it was they did like a big award show, and this was voted Raw Match of the Decade. So up the first 10 years of Raw, this was recognised as the best match of the decade.
The thumbnail on the YouTube video already looks incredible.
I'm assuming you've never seen this match, then.
I don't think I have.
Yeah, so because I think you was ruthless. This was going out of Attitude Era into Ruthless Aggression.
So 2002, I think, was just before the time I started going round a mate's house every Friday night watching SmackDown live. And so, but this is a Raw match anyway, so that's that's not.
Yeah, so I mean, at the time, so this was voted Match of the Decade when they did like the 10-year anniversary of Raw. This was Match of the Decade. So this was then. So I mean, I don't know if there's been any matches because I mean, obviously, I stopped watching Raw in like 2009, and I've only started watching. So in the next decade, I don't know. I very much doubt there's anything better than this.
Yeah. Okay. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because I had a few other matches, but then they weren't. But for some reason, Netflix doesn't have many Raws from like 99, 2000, 2000. Like, why? It's the best year of wrestling.
Yeah.
You know. So. Bit pants, bit wank, as one would say.
Bit pants, bit wank, yeah. Bit wank. No, I'm looking massively forward to that.
I mean, it's lengthier than the matches This is about 25 minutes or so.
I promise you, next time I will come up with something a lot better for you to watch.
Yeah. Well, if WrestleMania is a load of old shit, at least we've got something to review.
Absolutely, yeah. Which, I'll be honest, I know that, the build to WrestleMania has been crap, but the events, the PLEs have been of very good quality.
See, the thing is, I'm intrigued because, I'm not watching them live.
Yeah.
I'm whizzing through the crap in between. So, I mean, it might be a very short WrestleMania for me.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know, here's the thing. I know that they started separating the WrestleMania nights into two, specifically so that they could do 2 days of 3-hour shows instead of having one 6-7 hour massacre.
Well, to be honest, I mean, the last time I looked at the card, there was only about 4 matches scheduled on night 2.
Well, I mean...
But I think they've announced a few more matches since.
I actually looked earlier today, and I am fairly certain that there are only 2 matches that have night 1 and night 2 WrestleMania 41. So we know what the main event on night 1 is. We know what the main event on night 2 is.
Yeah, so CM Punk's main event.
Yeah, so night TBA. Yeah, it's only the 2 matches. The one Roman Reigns versus CM Punk and Seth Rollins night 1. Night 2, Rhodes versus Cena, and then everything else is TBC.
Yeah.
How does that work then? If you've brought WrestleMania tickets and you've only brought tickets for the one night, because I'm assuming there must be people who have done that. There must be
do you think WWE really gives a shit though?
Nah.
About your puny problems?
Yeah.
You know, how much are they... I don't know how much. It was a small fortune, wasn't it, for ringside tickets for that?
I tell you this now. If you'd have told me that 10 years ago, WWE would have done Money in the Bank in London, and that I would just not be interested in it whatsoever because of how much the tickets were.
Yeah, well, I remember you asking me about Clash in the Castle. Yeah. And then you told me how much the tickets were. I was like, no, you're all right.
Yeah. It was like...
I mean, wasn't the cheapest ticket 500 quid or something silly? The cheapest ticket.
The cheapest ticket, 500 quid.
Whereas the cheapest ticket for the first All-In was 35 quid or something, weren't it? I mean, fair enough, I would have got a nosebleed sitting up the back.
And then don't get me wrong, we got quite good seats the first year and the second year.
And there was only a couple of hundred, weren't they?
The second one was a couple of hundred. I think the first one was only, what was it, 80? 80 we paid?
No, it was dearer than that.
Was it dearer than that?
Yeah, it was dearer
Okay,
than that.
it was under than that, yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway then, we've done the show. We've had a bit of a rant about the WrestleMania build.
Well, we ain't done too bad. We've done an hour and 20.
We've done an hour and 20,
We went through the whole show. That seemed to go quite... I thought we was going to go well over.
Yeah, well, I expected so as well. That's why I kept an eye on the clock. Oh, I'm knackered. I need the pub.
We're just keeping you here for no reason now. We're just keeping you here. What are you still doing here? It's finished. It's over.
Go home.
Fuck off.